There is always movement in the Arab street in Berlin, regardless of the time and place, as people strolled back and forth, squeezing shoulders to get past one another, dodging baby carts, heavy plastic shopping bags, and construction beams, while cars fought for the few lanes they had, but it was nothing I was not used to. I kicked a small pebble while standing on a street corner, watching people go back and forth while still waiting for my friend to arrive. The sun of the afternoon was golden. It sent me back into a place in my mind where certain memories lay asleep, where everything looked similar, almost. I turned to the side and saw my friend Carl striding towards me, and my pensive face wore a sudden smile. "Mohammad," he said as he embraced me, "I'm so sorry for being late." "Yeah, you should be," I said with a serious tone. I mean, 10 minutes late? How do you even call yourself German?" Carl replied with a laugh. "I will make it up to you," he said. "I know this amazing hummus place around here that you're gonna love." "Well, then lead the way," I said. "Okay, good," he replied. "Let us go through that street over there. I think it'll get us there quicker." I did not object as much as I would have loved to take another street where the light of the sun could still touch my skin, even if it took us longer. But I did not say anything, knowing that the sun will be here tomorrow. We got to the restaurant and looked at the menu on the wall. And there was a moment when we wanted to order, where Carl and I both reached for our wallets at the same moment and locked eyes. "I am paying," I said. "On my dead body," he replied. "You know this contradicts my blood," I said to him. "Then you should know I don't really care," he said again. He said that, and he quickly took out his card and turned to the cashier with a smile and said, "Kann ich mit Karte zahlen, bitte?" I chuckled as I put away my wallet. "I see our Arabic lessons are affecting you a bit too much," I said. "Only in the good ways." He smiled and winked at me. We decided to sit outside, and shortly after, 2 sets of cutlery and 2 bowls of hummus sat on our table. Each was full of chicken and hummus as well as 5 pieces of flat bread and a small plate of pickles. "It's amazing how much food we get here for just 10 euros, don't you think?" Carl asked. Yeah, it is a lot to Berlin standards," I said while scoffing on the inside. Back home, 10 euros can get you this much food and a camel on top, I told myself. We ate, we talked and laughed. Then as we sat in a moment of silence, after finishing our meal to let the food settle down, Carl said, "I just love hanging out with you, Mo. We understand each other so much, and it's like we're on the same wavelength, you know?" "I enjoy your company too, man," I said. Then Carl leaned on the table. "That's why I also think we should make an NGO together, or an organization. We could do so many good things in the world. Just imagine." "I don't know about that." I tried my best to sound hesitant in a playful manner. "We've talked about this before, and you already know what I'm going to say." "But why?" he asked. "Well, for one," I answered, shifting in my seat, "I don't agree with your view on how we should move forward, or how to bring about sustainable peace." "Mohammed, I completely understand your point of view, and I hear what you're saying, truly," Carl replied. "But doesn't fighting only bring more fighting? That's why I think that any other approach is likely to make things more complicated for everyone." "That is your opinion, my friend," I said, shrugging and unfolding my arms. "It does not necessarily make it true or reality." But then, how can we move forward if we're bound by the past? Carl said. If we don't have the strength to move forward as two nations, then peace would remain a fantasy. We need to move from the past. It's the only logical way to bring peace. My soul took a step back, and my sight started to spin as I gazed through Carl and into the visions that began flashing in my mind. What about the people who lost their houses? A voice echoed in my mind from a distance. What about the refugees who were kicked out of their villages? Another asked. How will the man who lost his newborn son while registering his name move forward? One voice shouted. How will the child who lost his legs move on? An image flashed in my head. How will the one who carried the remains of his little brother in a black plastic bag on his shoulder do that? Another voice screamed as I imagined myself carrying my little brother like that. And who will explain the complex reality to the only child survivor of a family that was massacred right in front of him? One voice whispered to me up close, and it made me shiver. What kind of peace is that? I asked myself. I do not know. I found myself answering Carl. That's the thing, Mo, Carl said. We need to find the answers together. And the first step, I think, is for both people to acknowledge one another. Then, and only then, will forgiveness find a way. I just know it will happen like that. I took a breath. The way things stand, I said, that will never happen. But we need to forgive, Mo, Carl said. We need to be better than this. In a split second that followed, everything seemed to turn dark, and my head began to boil, while my limbs became restless. Suddenly, I could swear I felt several arms grabbing my shoulders, and I did not need to turn back and face them because I could hear them collectively talking to me in a deep, rasping voice, almost like the groaning of a hungry beast or the hissing of a malicious snake. Better? One of them shouted. Who the hell does he think he is? He's got to be out of his damn mind, another screamed. Grab the bowl and bash his skull with it. Don't waste the bowl on his head, use a fork instead. They continued like a demonic choir, and my limbs almost obeyed. But then I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, once and twice, exhaling something heavy off of my chest, something that I knew better than to let out, or better than to act upon. Then I looked at Carl again, unaware of the expression my face carried. Forgiveness is not cheap, Carl, I said to him, shaking my head. It should never be like that. And trust me when I tell you that it is there. I pushed my empty bowl of hummus and chicken, yet it doesn't cost 10 euros to buy it. It needs time and effort. Otherwise, it's hollow, empty, and meaningless. A moment of silence passed as I looked away from Carl and into the blue sky above, colored with the dusky shade of a candlelit room in the night. Then I remembered that the light of the sun will be here tomorrow.